This channel is all about focusing on the workforce, and I try to cover things that aren't usually covered or given enough coverage in some of the mainstream press. And today I really want to talk about a category of worker that is treated so unfairly, so unjustly, is so deeply politically targeted that it's almost unbearable to think about. So today, folks, we have a very serious episode where we're going to be talking about the plight of... I can't keep it straight. Okay. We're going to talk about late night talk show hosts. God bless them. Hey folks, Mark here with The Rational Workforce. Thanks so much for tuning in. After everything that's gone down over the past several years, I really shouldn't be shocked by just how many people have the luxury of not living in the real world, but here we go again. First, it was federal workers who were introduced to the shocking notion that jobs aren't necessarily guaranteed for life. Then it was the Elon haters who learned a couple things. First of all, that Teslas actually have built-in cameras. And secondly, that most employers don't endorse felony vandalism. Now, late-night talk show host and alleged comedian Stephen Colbert is losing his job, and of course, it's all Trump's fault. Not because his show costs $100 million to produce, but only brings in $70 million in revenue. Not because his show only draws 288,000 viewers in that key 25 to 54 demographic. It's not even because his total viewership of 1.9 million is declining, while shows like Gutfield, which is on cable, not broadcast by the way, averages 3.1 million total viewers, nearly 400,000 of which are in that coveted demographic, and has grown by almost 32% in the last year alone. No, of course, none of these actual market-facing metrics matter. According to Colbert, the only reason and the sole reason that he has been canceled is because of politics. And oh boy, he is going to make sure you know all about it.
In a completely unrelated story, on Friday, Donald Trump posted, "I absolutely love that Colbert got fired. His talent was even less than his ratings." How dare you, sir? Would an untalented man be able to compose the following satirical witticism? Go yourself.
Now, this shouldn't be surprising. Everything on his show seems to be politically motivated. His entire brand is centered around mocking conservatives and towing the party line for progressives and awkwardly dancing with everything from syringes to politicians. In other words, he's not that creative or that funny, and the numbers bear that out. Now, there shouldn't be a mystery or a surprise by any means. After all, his very public stances instantly eliminates at least 50% of the potential viewing audience. I mean, his time slot plus his particular narrowly focused brand of humor also kind of work against him. In fact, I'm willing to bet that not an insignificant percentage of his viewing audience is simply people who fell asleep watching the evening news, and then Colbert comes and drones on in the background while they snore. And then there's YouTube. I mean, why suffer through monologues and commercials and mediocre celebrity interviews when you know that you're going to be able to catch anything that could be considered a highlight on X in the morning? I mean, the simple fact of the matter is that tastes are changing, the way media is consumed is changing, and Colbert plus a gaggle of others have failed to keep pace. Now, don't feel too bad for him, though, because his latest contract extension earned him an annual salary of $15 million, and he has a nice long runway to find his next gig. But if you do need to feel bad for someone, how about the 200 people who work on his show? I mean, I'm certain their pay isn't remotely close, not even in the same universe as Colbert's, but they're going to be on the street too. And as we've seen time and time and time again, the elites f*** around, but the rank and file workers invariably find out. But in a broader sense, Colbert and his creative team simply failed to read the cultural room. It's like their bubble froze in 2016 and they can't see beyond that calendar date. They bop along, blissfully unaware that broad swaths of the American public are tired of being lectured about how bad they are and how bad America is and how much better life can be if they only subscribe to his shallow, insular, holier-than-thou view of the world. I mean, comedians who largely avoid politics like Nate Bargatze and Tom Segura, they're all crushing it. And they're largely not even really getting into any type of political discussion. And then there's Shane Gillis. He is all over the place, and he's selling out venues left and right. And I mean, if anything, maybe he leans a bit right. But the fact of the matter is there's a lot of people out there that are doing really, really well by kind of abandoning that super partisan political take on the world. And then, I mean, look at the box office. Movies like F1, flicks that are completely devoid of politics or posturing or lecturing, are doing incredibly well and raking in the bucks, kind of like Maverick from last year. Tastes are changing, entertainment is changing, the way content is being consumed is changing, and everything is evolving but Colbert and folks like him. They just refuse to keep pace. And as much as you may hate Trump, his politics, or conservatives in general, the only thing that's making Colbert's show go bye-bye is Colbert himself and the annual loss that his brand of humor creates for the network. So, as we said to the recently terminated federal workers, the recently terminated Tesla-destroying activists, and anyone else who believed that their political beliefs made them immune to economic pressures, welcome to the real world. The rest of us have been living in it for quite some time. So, that's today's episode. What do you think? Am I being a little too cold and careless around these precious comedians that keep our late night talk shows alive, at least temporarily? Or do you feel the same? What's your take? We'd love to hear from you. Drop a note in the comments below. If you like what you saw, click like, ring the bell, click subscribe, do all the things to keep the channel growing. And with that, we'll wrap up. Thanks so much for tuning in, folks. Have a great night.